every small comment, every minor setback. If you let it all get under your skin, you hand over your power. The truth is, the most unshakable people don't have fewer problems. They've simply mastered their reactions. Imagine walking through life unfazed. No more overthinking, no more emotional outbursts, just complete control. In this video, I'll show you how to train your mind to act as if nothing can shake you, so you stop feeling imprisoned by your emotions and start commanding them instead. Because once you master this skill, nothing and no one will ever hold power over you again. Keep watching until the end. One shift in perspective can rewrite your whole story, and if you want to continue growing into your strongest, truest self, hit that subscribe button. 1. Mastering the nothing bothers me. Mindset life is filled with noise, opinions, frustrations, unexpected obstacles. The world is relentless in its ability to distract, criticize, and challenge you. But here's the secret. True strength comes from mastering the art of calm indifference. Picture yourself walking through a storm without flinching or losing composure. That is what it means to live as though nothing bothers you. The key is emotional detachment from external circumstances. When you let outside events dictate your mood, you become a puppet. But when you train your mind to stay unmoved, you become the architect of your destiny. The world respects those who stay calm in chaos, who don't crumble under pressure. Embody this mindset, and you command authority without speaking. You move through life with presence, power, and unshakable confidence. Think of history's most influential individuals. They weren't the ones reacting impulsively to every criticism. They carried an air of control, as if they knew a truth the world didn't. Their strength came not from arguing, but from remaining unaffected. This is the power of indifference. Success literature has always taught the same principle. Thought precedes action. What you think, you become. If you react emotionally to everything, you give away your power. But if you cultivate an unwavering mind, the world bends to your will. Those who achieve greatness master this. Control the mind, and you control your reality. Imagine someone insulting you publicly. Most people respond with anger or defensiveness. But what happens when you simply smile and walk away? You steal their power. They expected a reaction, and when they don't get one, they're unsettled. You walk away untouched and undefeated. That is the quiet dominance everyone admires, but few understand. This applies to failure too. Most people drown in frustration, losing days or years lamenting what went wrong. But those who understand indifference view failure as data, nothing personal, just information to adjust. They don't internalize defeat. They observe, adapt, and move forward. To achieve this mindset, you must train your mind daily. Practice pausing before you react. Ask yourself, does this matter to my long-term goals? Is a reaction necessary, or am I giving away power? With repeated non-reaction, you build emotional armor. Another essential tool is visualization. See yourself as someone who moves through life unshaken. Picture a version of you who doesn't flinch at insults and doesn't crack under pressure. Reinforce this image until it becomes reality. The mind becomes what it repeatedly imagines. Let people wonder how you stay composed. Let them question why nothing rattles you. When you show that nothing bothers you, you control the game. You become an enigma, admired, respected, and impossible to manipulate. True power isn't loud. It's a presence so steady it needs no explanation. Master this presence and you master life. 2. Stay unshaken. Think of the strongest people you know. They don't react impulsively. They don't let emotions control their actions. They pause, assess, and respond with intention, not because they lack emotion, but because they have mastered it. Emotional detachment isn't suppressing feelings, it's controlling them. Imagine a heated argument where someone tries to provoke you. Do you react, or do you remain unfazed, knowing their words mean nothing unless you empower them? Detachment is refusing to hand over your peace. It's realizing your inner world is sacred and untouched. When you adopt this mindset, stress decreases, clarity increases, and life becomes a puzzle to solve rather than a battle to fight. Thoughts shape reality. What you focus on, you attract. When external events dictate your mind, you're a slave to circumstances. But when you control your thoughts, you control your fate. Consider the man who lost everything: his business, investments, stability. Most would collapse into despair. He didn't. He treated failure as a lesson, not a tragedy. He understood his mind was his greatest asset, and no loss could take it. With that mindset, he rebuilt everything stronger. That is the power of detachment. Most people fail, not because they lack ability, but because they cannot manage emotional turbulence. They give up when fear or doubt strikes. But those who master detachment treat emotions as temporary waves that cannot derail long-term goals. Detachment doesn't make you cold, it makes you powerful. You can feel deeply, but you stay in control. Your emotions serve you, not the other way around. Start practicing in emotionally charged moments. When insulted, pause. Observe your feelings. Ask yourself, does this matter? Almost always, the answer is no. By not reacting, you protect your power. Detachment grows from purpose. When your vision is strong, petty distractions lose their grip. Your focus becomes unbreakable. While others panic, you stay calm. While others react, you respond with precision. This is true strength, not physical dominance, but a steady presence that commands respect. Master emotional detachment, and you don't just survive, you take control of your life. 3. Mindful indifference is a superpower. We are conditioned to care about everything: opinions, validation, judgments. But true freedom comes from realizing most things don't matter. When you're overthinking, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? If not, release it. Most of what troubles us, criticism, setbacks, embarrassments, becomes insignificant with time. Yet we allow them to consume us. Mastering indifference gives you back your power. Indifference isn't apathy, it's prioritization. Your energy is limited. Invest it wisely. Not every battle deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your consideration. When you stop reacting to minor inconveniences, you regain control. You shift from emotional reactivity to strategic response. Think of the people you admire most. They aren't seeking approval or reacting emotionally to every challenge. They stand firm, unaffected by noise. They know who they are, so they cannot be manipulated. Adopt this mindset and people will respect you, not because you chase validation, but because you don't need it. When criticized unfairly, the weak react. The strong remain composed. They understand words only have power if they permit them to. Calmness commands more respect than any outburst ever could. The same is true of success. Those who accomplish big things don't waste energy on trivial concerns. Their focus is laser sharp. Every moment spent worrying about the irrelevant is time stolen from progress. To cultivate indifference, start evaluating your reactions. When frustration rises over something small, pause. Ask, is this worth my energy? The answer is usually no. Train yourself to let go of what doesn't serve you. Set clear priorities. When you know what truly matters, your purpose, your growth, your peace, external judgment loses its power. You become untouchable, not because you care about nothing, but because you care about the right things. True power isn't found in seeking approval. It's found in being unmoved by rejection. When you control where your energy goes, you rise above the rest. 4. Stop seeking approval. Seeking approval is a trap. It puts your happiness in someone else's hands. No one's opinion should outweigh your own. When you let others define your worth, you lose control of your life. True confidence comes from self-reliance, from knowing you don't need permission to be yourself. The most magnetic people don't beg for approval. They don't shrink to fit in. They own who they are, fully and unapologetically. The need for approval is rooted in fear. Fear of rejection, judgment, standing alone. But the more you seek approval, the more power you surrender. You become a prisoner of expectations, molding yourself to please others. Freedom comes when you release the need to be liked. Universal approval is impossible. Some will admire you, some will criticize you, and most won't care. So why waste energy trying to please everyone? The people who change the world aren't concerned with fitting in. They're driven by purpose. They face criticism, but remain unshaken. Their confidence comes from self-belief, not public opinion. To escape the approval trap, ask yourself, whose opinion truly matters? Often the loudest critics have no understanding of your journey. Their words hold no weight unless you give it to them. Learn to validate yourself. Celebrate your wins, big and small. When you rely on your own approval, external validation becomes irrelevant. Detaching from validation doesn't mean arrogance. It means respecting your own path. Your value isn't negotiable. The moment you stop seeking approval is the moment you begin living freely. You no longer filter yourself for others. You move with authenticity and boldness. Not everyone will understand you, and that's okay. Those who matter will respect you, not because you seek their approval, but because you don't need it. Choose yourself. Stand firm in your values and vision. Let go of external validation and embrace self-acceptance. When you do, you become untouchable, not because everyone approves of you, but because you no longer require their approval. 5. Handle criticism. With strength, criticism is inevitable, but how you handle it reveals your strength. Most people crumble at the first sign of disapproval, letting it shape their identity and weaken their resolve. But criticism is just opinion. Words often spoken by those who don't understand your path. Criticism only has power if you react emotionally. The strongest people filter feedback through logic. Take what helps, discard what doesn't. No unnecessary emotion, no overreaction, just clarity. There are two types of criticism, constructive and destructive. Constructive criticism comes from those who want to see you grow. Welcome it. Destructive criticism stems from insecurity or jealousy. Ignore it. Imagine a sculptor creating a masterpiece. Some praise him, some offer suggestions, others mock him. Does he abandon his work because of negativity? No. He continues, guided by his inner vision. This is how you must handle criticism. Ask yourself, does this person have the credibility to judge me? If yes, consider it. If not, let it go. Most criticism comes from people who have never accomplished what you're pursuing. Their words reflect their limitations, not yours. Weak-minded individuals react impulsively. The strong remain calm. They acknowledge criticism, but don't let it disturb their peace. History's greatest minds faced relentless criticism, yet they continued. Their ability to move forward despite doubt set them apart. To master this mindset, practice detachment. When criticized, pause. Analyze. Is there any value here? If yes, use it. If not, dismiss it. Confidence comes from within, not from approval. The world will always have opinions, but in the end, the only one that truly matters is your own. True strength lies in hearing criticism, evaluating it, and staying focused. 6. Keep your composure under pressure. Pressure exposes people. Some break, some fold, but the strong remain steady. Why? Because they prepare their minds before the storm arrives. They know pressure is inevitable, not abnormal. The secret is releasing the need for control. Not everything will go as planned. People will disappoint you. Obstacles will appear. But you don't react emotionally. You respond strategically. Most people panic because they expect life to be smooth. When things go wrong, they collapse. But those who embrace uncertainty adapt. They move with the chaos, not against it. Think of a seasoned warrior. He enters battle expecting resistance. He stays composed because he accepts the reality of conflict. He doesn't wish for ease. He focuses on execution. You must adopt this mindset. The world will test you. But if you train your mind to handle pressure, nothing can shake you. While others scramble in panic, you move with calm precision. You respond, not react. Strength comes not from controlling everything, but from controlling yourself. When you stop needing perfection, you become unstoppable. Start shifting your perspective on pressure. See it as a test. When stress rises, challenge yourself to remain steady. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Preparation is key. Mentally rehearse worst-case scenarios. When you expect challenge, nothing surprises you. You become a strategist, not a victim of circumstance. Most people live unprepared, hoping for ease. But those who train for adversity do not break. They rise. They remain standing, untouched. When pressure builds, remind yourself, this is my test. While others panic, you breathe. While others react, you calculate. And when the storm passes, you remain unshaken. 7. Letting go of what you can't control. Suffering comes from clinging to outcomes, expectations, and things beyond your influence. You hold tight to how you think life should unfold, and when it doesn't, you feel pain. But real strength comes from letting go. Picture a river flowing around obstacles. It doesn't resist or demand that things move out of its way. It adapts. That's how you must move through life. Some things will happen regardless of how much you stress. The job you didn't get, the person who left, the setback you didn't expect. You can resist and suffer, or adapt and grow. The choice is yours. Letting go isn't giving up. It's shifting your focus to what you can control. Attachment makes you fragile. It traps you in frustration. But accepting that some things are beyond your reach frees you. The strongest people aren't the ones who fight the inevitable. They're the ones who remain calm in uncertainty. They've mastered detachment, not from life, but from the illusion of control. Most people tie their happiness to specific outcomes. If things go their way, they're happy. If not, they fall apart. That's a weak foundation. Strength comes from adaptability. To let go, start with awareness. When you feel yourself gripping tightly to an outcome, ask, is this within my control? If not, release it. Redirect your energy to what moves you forward. Practice with small things first. Traffic, delays, changes in plans. Notice the peace that comes when you don't react. Over time, this extends to bigger challenges. Detachment isn't apathy, it's wisdom. You can care deeply and still remain steady when things shift. When you let go of what you can't control, you become untouchable. You move through life with a calmness that others envy. While they drown in frustration, you stay balanced. The strongest minds don't cling, they flow. Just like a river, they move forward, untouched by obstacles. 8. Silence is the ultimate power move. In a world obsessed with noise, silence is a weapon. Most people talk to gain validation or fill space, but powerful individuals speak less and observe more. When they speak, every word matters. Silence makes others uncomfortable. It forces them to wonder what you're thinking. In any interaction, the one who speaks less often holds more control. Words reveal, silence conceals. Master silence, and you shift power dynamics in your favor. Most people rush to fill silence with explanations or justifications. But when you hold back, others expose their thoughts, insecurities, and intentions. You remain a mystery, and in mystery lies strength. In negotiation, silence is leverage. When someone makes an offer and you pause, they become unsettled. They begin filling the gap with better terms. Silence creates tension, and tension creates advantage. The same applies to conflict. When someone insults you, stay silent. They expect anger. But when you give nothing, they lose power. They must deal with their own emotions instead of feeding on yours. Silence also sharpens your perception. When you talk less, you notice more. Tone, posture, hesitation, contradictions. You gather information while revealing nothing. This makes you a strategist. The most influential people in the world aren't loud. They choose their words carefully. They conserve energy. They don't waste breath on meaningless chatter. To develop this skill, practice restraint. Pause before you speak. Observe before responding. Let others reveal themselves first. In emotional situations, stay silent. When you're angry, stay silent. When pressured, delay your response. The ability to control your speech under stress is the purest form of discipline. Silence is not weakness. It is strategy. It is control. It is dominance without aggression. Master silence and you master influence. 9. Train yourself to stay calm. No matter what your mind is your battlefield. The thoughts you permit determine whether you win or lose. Doubt, fear, hesitation. These are enemies you must conquer. The strongest people aren't free of negative thoughts. They simply refuse to be ruled by them. To build an unshakable mind, develop habits of gratitude, discipline, and detachment. The mind strengthens the same way the body does, through repeated resistance. Mental toughness doesn't appear in crisis. It is developed through daily training. Every day, practice staying unfazed. Pause before reacting. Breathe before responding. Most people are slaves to emotion, reacting instantly and impulsively. But those who control their minds control everything. This is how warriors think. This is how leaders operate. Mental strength is built in small moments. Waking up early, staying silent when you could argue, pushing forward when you want to quit. The mind grows through challenge. Every difficulty is a chance to strengthen it. Detachment is one of the most powerful habits you can build. Separate yourself from emotions, outcomes, and external chaos. You gain an advantage over those who are constantly reacting. Detachment isn't coldness, it's control. You can't control the world, but you can always control your response. Imagine a storm. Most people get swept away, but those with unshakable minds stand firm, letting the storm pass around them. They don't fight the uncontrollable. They conserve energy for what matters. Discipline is equally essential. The mind seeks comfort and ease. That's why most people never achieve strength. They surrender to distraction, procrastination, and doubt. Discipline rewires the mind. By choosing discipline consistently, you become unstoppable. Start small, meditate, exercise, read, honor your commitments. These small acts compound into a powerful mind. The world will test you, but once you master your mind, nothing external can shake you. You'll move through life with confidence, calm, and control. When others ask how you stay so composed, you will know the truth. You trained for this. 10. Mastering the art of moving in silence. Real power moves quietly. It doesn't seek validation. It doesn't announce its plans. It acts and lets results speak. The loudest people often lack depth. They crave recognition, but the strongest move strategically and silently. If you want respect, stop explaining your plans. Just execute. The more you talk, the more doubt and resistance you invite. But when you work in silence, no one sees you coming until it's too late. Strong individuals don't waste time proving themselves. Their success speaks for them. They don't argue, overshare, or beg for approval. They move with certainty, and certainty commands respect. The greatest figures in history weren't broadcasting their next move. They understood that power lies in execution, not explanation. They didn't explain their vision, they built it. Develop the discipline to keep your ambitions private. Work relentlessly but quietly. Let people wonder what you're doing. Let them question how you stay so composed. The less they know, the more control you possess. Silence isn't passive, it's strategic. It creates space for others to overthink. In that space, you gain power. When you do speak, your words carry weight because you don't waste them. While others chase attention, chase mastery. While they perform success, you build it. If you feel the urge to explain your plans, don't. If you feel the need to prove yourself, hold back. Show your progress through results, not announcements. The moment you stop relying on validation, people begin noticing you more. They wonder how nothing bothers you, how you move so intelligently in silence. And that's when you know you've mastered the game. Not because you said anything, but because you didn't have to. See you in the next video.